da ba 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 ba. On your way, like an...
I'm William Shatner, sometimes known as Walter Bascom.
Oh, holy shit, it's William Shatner. How you been, man? I seen you on the Twitter acting your age. How can you
In a future I created called Tekwar. Welcome to Capstone, and prepare to witness the technology of the future today in Tekwar, the game of CD-ROM. Welcome to Capstone. Welcome to Capstone.
Welcome to Capstone.
Capstone. Capstone! If you're ever looking for trashy games made for DOS in the mid-90s, if that's a thing you do, Capstone is a good place to start. End to end. I've covered them before. I mean, remember Operation Body Count? Well, Capstone moved up in the world, releasing one of the first games on Ken Silverman's build engine, which powered such classics as Duke Nukem 3D, Shadow Warrior, and Blood, and some not-so-classics such as everything else ever made with the engine. Except Ion Maiden, I guess. Ion Maiden is actually pretty awesome. You should play that. This has star power, based off William Shatner's writings, which I haven't read, but I'll bet they reach the epic heights of such classics as Star Trek V.
Captain Kirk is climbing a mountain. Why is he climbing a mountain?
Oh, okay. There's also a TV show, I guess. It looks like the typical 90s mid-afternoon syndicated schlock. But this is a video game, and this is ambitious stuff, kids. I mean, an open-world cyberpunk FPS game in 1995, like 6 years before Deus Ex, made by Capstone, the pinnacle of entertainment software, using this new engine? Could they finally escape the prison of Wolfenstein clones using Ken Silverman's weird, honestly kind of glitchy engine? Is this what Capstone needed to really get their lofty ideas off the ground?
I suppose you're wondering why you're here.
Nope.
It's simple. You're the best.
Oh, thanks, man.
At least I think you are.
Yeah, you're,
You've already figured out that if this weren't important, you'd still be in cryosleep, so I'm not going to waste your time, or more importantly, mine.
Why are you lying to me, man? Why?
Last month, Miyoshi Nakahara and her family disappeared while sailing a 40-foot wind cruiser around the world and are believed lost. Oh, in case you missed the relevance, Nakahara is a Nobel Prize-winning cyberneticist whose forte is the Matrix.
You know what? Put me back in the freezer. I'm not running a Matrix clip. It's too hacky.
If the tech lords have developed a way to broadcast tech using the Matrix, addiction would be universal. I don't intend to let that happen. That's where you come in. Find out if there's a connection and eliminate the threat. Do a good job, and I think I can get you released permanently.
Oh, shit, seriously? Can you get me out of here, Bill? I'd like that. I know you got friends in Hollywood who might know some people who own senators, but this is a lot to ask. I know. I just met you. So after that, the title screen appears, giving you some... Oh boy. The Eagle has landed, kids. I don't think the technological advancements of the build engine are going to help Capstone if this is what I'm looking at, and this is... Oh my god. So here's 7 tech lords whose tech days are tech numbered, and up here, that's the Matrix. You need to kill these guys to get these symbols so that you can use them in the Matrix, so I'm just gonna wait on that.
Quick, I'm uptown, and I just saw Marty Dollar. Get down here and help me bring him in.
Me and Shatner are gonna bring him in? Oh, this is good. This is perfect.
You start near Midtown and work your way through the area.
This is not Midtown. This is the subway. Get used to seeing the subway. You're gonna visit it about 50 times. They retexture it and add little stuff in sometimes, but it's the same map. So all the characters in this game are eye-gougingly ugly digitized sprites that aren't scaled properly. I give them credit for this subway train though, because honestly, even if a chunk of it has misaligned textures and also solid colors as textures, and the bars are two-dimensional, and... Oh, hey, we've got a bum here. He'll work for tech, apparently. He's on the train for the entire game, and he does nothing. If you go into the bathroom in the subway platform, you can find a mirror and... Oh, fuck me.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
This is your player character, everybody. Whose idea was this? They are just precious.
Damn, I'm looking good.
So far, the only weapons I have are this energy thing and a pistol, which if you go to this empty ticket booth or any empty ticket booth at any subway stop, you'll find pistol clips, spelled with a K, Sure, okay. And then the Orlo, the flamethrower, the bazooka, you can select them with the number keys, but that doesn't bring them up. You need to select them and then press fire to unholster them. And then you can use them, and civilians freak out whenever you have your gun drawn because William Shatner didn't tell the cops that you're working for him, and so they all hate you. I think he's trying to get you killed to offset the expenses of cryogenically freezing you. Here's a map of the subway system straight from my childhood experiments with MS Paint. This is a game that was sold for money with a celebrity's name attached to it. There's no reason for it to be here because it doesn't actually show you where the stops are, because the train doesn't stop at all of them, and in fact only stops at a maximum of 3 of them in any given level, and it's the same map for every level, but all the stops go to different places, and if that sounds ridiculous, welcome to the fucking party. Once you go through the security checkpoint, you're in Midtown, kind of, and you were immediately shot at by some guy on the back of a bus. Duck into this alleyway and shoot a couple of people and you'll find health and a red key card. Cool, that didn't take long. So you have this HUD, right? H is your health, A is your ammo, and C is something. It never runs out or changes at all, but it's there. It's at 100%, so I'm just gonna call that the crap meter and move on. This game sounds like complete dog shit. Par for the course for Capstone. I mean, it's just a jumbled mess of pew-pews and ambient noises. Most of the maps don't even have any lighting changes, like everything is full bright. That's a paddling. Come on. I mean, ugh. It took me a while to figure out how this game works. See, you need to pick up the red key card and the blue key card. So in this first mission, I pick up the red key at the first stop and the blue key is at the second, because despite what this subway map says, there are only 2 stops, and this operates like a hub, but not like a hub in Hexen where they do it correctly. Like the enemies are dead, the items are gone. No, you go back on the subway and those pistol clips with a K from before are right there. Also, guess what? Because of this security checkpoint, you don't get to take any weapons or ammo you get in the map with you, so they're gone for the rest of the mission. So why even bother with the open world? Because Capstone is the pinnacle of breaking my balls. Fun fact, when you load a game from the main menu, the load game screen is an actual level. It's a box. You move around it, it has a rug that really ties the room together. Also, when you press the escape key, you bring up a menu that's giant and ugly and serves no purpose, that doesn't pause the game. Nothing pauses the game.
Prepare to witness the technology of the future today in Tech War.
The combat is, I mean, it's not the worst. It's pretty close to the worst. You can tell you're hitting someone because they go into their paid states, but they're all still shooting at you while doing this. So far, this is endearingly shitty, like a child's drawing that you put up on the fridge. I just want to pat Capstone on the head because they didn't trace over any Doom sprites this time. Most of your enemies do the same thing, which is hit scan you with the same 1 or 2 sound effects over and over. But in every level, you'll see a hologram of the tech lord you're looking for. It shoots at you, and you'll shoot it, but the game will say, was a hologram. Well, thanks, Tech War. I thought it was a fucking ghost. Other build engine games had vertical mouse aiming, but Tech War? Nah, son, you're stuck with the keyboard. And since this game doesn't auto-aim like other classic shooters, if there's a guy above or below you, you're gonna need a couple of seconds to aim and hit them, if you can hit them at all. It says you can hold down caps lock to aim with the mouse, but that shit never worked for me, and that's fucking stupid anyway. You know, I'm not surprised, Capstone, I'm just disappointed. Health pickups in this game are med kits. I mean medic kits. At least they're using Ks correctly now. Once you get the red and blue key cards, you have to find the one place in one of these maps where you can use them, so you can get to the Tech Lord's office and shoot him. Downstairs from his office, there's some kind of establishment with square pool tables. You know, I wish I couldn't point to another build engine game with proper interactive pool tables, but here we are, Duke 3D. Upstairs is a turret on the ceiling, so you can really test how shitty the aiming is in this game. Marty Dollar here, he's not like a boss or anything, he goes down easy, especially since I found this flamethrower that almost kinda works. I don't see him die, but then...
Marty Dollar is out of the way, but couldn't you have been more careful? The body count keeps rising, and it's harder and harder to justify it. We're not the killers. They are. Try to remember that.
Nah, Bill, look, everybody's shooting at me for no reason, so no. Next!
Dallas DeMarco is a small-time tech lord operating uptown somewhere near the hospital. He may know something about what's going on. See if you can shed any light on the situation. He's worth more alive than dead, so don't get too trigger-happy.
Okay, I'll try not to shoot too many people in your shooting game where you give me access to bazookas and flamethrowers in the first level. We're back to the subway. I'm gonna take a break for some notes, so I abort the mission and...
What can I say? You blew it. If the need weren't so great, I'd have you on the next flight back to the freezer. But at least you didn't get any civilians killed. Now get out there and do it right.
Yeah, well, I didn't actually do anything. I don't see the need for Shatner to taunt you every time you want to take a piss or something, because the game itself doesn't have a fucking pause function. Doesn't help that I set the resolution to a crisp, cutting-edge 640 by 480, and the window changes every time Shatner pops up, because he's in 320 by 200. And even then you can tell that's a bad rug, you fuck. I know you can use your energy blaster thing to not kill civilians, just, as this game puts it, short out the target's nervous system. You know, it's not so bad. You're not killing them. You're just giving them the symptoms of multiple sclerosis. It's mission 2, and it's time to go into City 1 map. You'll see a lot of these solid waste containers around, and they always made me chuckle because, you know, this game is solid waste. I'm not supposed to kill anyone, but they don't really give me much of a choice. Almost as soon as I'm in the map, I'm getting shot at from somewhere, sometimes everywhere. There's a capstone truck glitchily driving around, because of course there is. Yeah, instant death, hit by the capstone truck. That sure is how it fucking feels. I just don't know. I don't know why she exploded. Sometimes the pedestrians explode. So I go to the hospital, which I believe is called Our Lady of Microsoft Word Art. So I go to the hospital and pick up a med kit, and then everyone starts shooting at me. What was I thinking going to a hospital to heal myself? This thing is a wheelchair. I have nothing else to say about that. I escape into a vent, as you do, except I walk right through the vent grate. This is fine. I want to use the Gordon Ramsay clips again, but they told me if I do that, they're going to start taking my fingers. I found both the red and the blue keycards, so now I can find wherever the Tech Lord is hiding, and I can ask him some questions. With bullets. He's somewhere in this mess of a level. I find this building with a hallway where I could use the red keycard, so that's obviously where I have to go. But there's another switch, right? There's this switch that clearly isn't for this door, so that's an obvious trap. Delightfully devilish, Capstone. Let's see what you got. Outstanding. Before I can face the Tech Lord, I have to take out 6 gun turrets and deactivate these force fields. Want to know how to deactivate force fields? You shoot at it once with a pistol and it explodes. You see what I'm talking about? Capstone fucks up in different and interesting ways each time. First, you get force fields that don't actually block anything. Now you've got force fields that not only can't block anything, but will explode when hit by something. It's just Capstone. They fascinate me with how utterly incompetent they were at making video games. I would say that this game seems unfinished, but I honestly can't make that assumption with a Capstone game. How the fuck does this even happen? The ceiling turret is moving around now. The stationary turret that you'd think would have no code that instructs it to move around is moving around. I don't even know how you fucked that up. I'm almost dead, and I gotta face this guy, and after a few attempts, I kill him. There's 3 holograms in this office, and none of them are going to fool me because they're transparent and the guy isn't, so one of them shoots me, and I die. But then...
You may have taken down DeMarco, but you also got a lot of innocent civilians hurt in the process. You know, the ones you're supposed to protect? I can't keep the law off your back if this happens again.
You know what? Send me back to the freezer. I've been frozen. It's not that bad. And action.
Hold my calls.
Cap, you're looking at me when you say that. You're not supposed to...
I want you to take down Carlisle Rossi's operation. He conducts business from somewhere near People's Park. Try to bring him back for questioning.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. Sweet, peaceful, nipple-hardening cryo sleep, here I come. Same subway, but this time there's a secret bazooka and someone trying to kill you in the back of the room. But since I can't take the bazooka into any of the levels and there's nothing to shoot in the subway and I'm not even supposed to be shooting anyone in the subway, you know, am I wrong? What the fuck? Time for Beach 1 map. It's supposed to be the file name, beach1.map, but I guess they couldn't program in punctuation. Speaking of maps, this game has this one. You get the whole thing at once instead of it being revealed as you explore the level. That's not a complaint, it comes in handy because the level designers were clueless dicks. More on that later. In this mission, you have to search 2 maps for a red and a blue keycard and then find the Tech Lord in his office and shoot him a couple of times. But this one has a beach. And guess what? Guess what? It's embarrassing. First, I gotta explain this thing that happens in Build Engine games, because they weren't actually 3D. There were places in, say, Duke Nukem 3D, where you would get into an elevator and it would take you up or down, but they would also hide a sneaky little teleporter in there, just as the elevator would get to the next floor, so it would give you the illusion that you were occupying actual 3D space. Tekwar tries that. You go into the elevator, teleport without the elevator moving, and you're on the next floor. Or how about when you go underground to the beach level and it just jarringly teleports you past an invisible barrier on the other side? You see this? This is the pinnacle of entertainment software. You go underwater and immediately holster your weapon and sink to the bottom. You cannot swim in this game. Going out underwater past this point here causes you to take damage and die in a watery grave next to these unrooted floating plants. There's a lovely gentleman on a cigarette boat shooting at me who is nearly impossible to hit unless you're on the boat. Good luck with that. Alright, here we go. We're on the boat. Arr! Looks like choppy seas, matey. Found nothing on this level, or so I thought. I picked up a blue keycard without realizing it. Now it's time to go to the other subway stop, which is the park. Listen to this peaceful music. Oh, sorry about that. There's a red key door in this place that I think is some kind of electronics store that they have at the park. Oh boy, this is nature at its finest. A hedge texture repeated 10,000 times that doesn't tile properly. We got footage of a build engine game that did better natural environments. Awesome. There's even a hedge maze. Hey, we got footage of a build engine game that did better hedge mazes. You know what? I gotta stop that. It's not fun anymore. It's just depressing. This is supposed to be a hedge maze, you can tell, but it's so lazy. They put in just enough effort for you to understand that it's supposed to be a hedge maze. But, yeah. But it's pointless because this lady near the entrance in this booth has the red key. Level design! All the bases are square in tech ball because the field is way too small for baseball. Go into a building, more turrets, this guy shooting glitches at you. I shoot this guy thinking he's another regular goon because we're not in an office, but no, it's Rossi.
Don't be so proud of yourself. Sure, you brought down Rossi, but you made the People's Park sector look like a war zone.
Hey, I didn't arm all of these people, I didn't shoot first, and I sure as shit didn't leave a bazooka and a flamethrower lying around in a public park.
Next time, use better judgment if and when you apply lethal force.
No. If you've played Missions 1 and 2, you've played Mission 4, except in Mission 4 there's a theater. Hey, let's do that thing again, you know the thing? There we go. Anyway, Mission 5 is just the pinnacle, kids, because it's not one sewer level, but two in a hub, plus one more level at the end. The subway takes you directly to a stop that takes you into the sewer, because sometimes my eyelids twitch when I go pee. The sewer levels introduce miles of ugly, confusing hallways that lead nowhere. It's every bad thing about sewer levels, packed with enemies that constantly shoot me, but I'm not supposed to kill. This level also introduces tech rats, as in cybernetic rats, and by introduces I mean it recycles the rats from Operation Body Count. You didn't think I'd notice, did you? You didn't think anyone would play more than one Capstone game. Who would be stupid enough to do that? Fuck these rats. You can only reliably hit them with the pistol, and you have to mess with the shitty aiming to do it. I just run past them. You wander around until you find the blue key next to the subway station. I'm thinking to myself, man, this is a convenient subway train. Let's ride it out of here and see where it takes me. Right back to the same stop. I'm curious, so I'm gonna ride on the front of the train to see this miraculous journey in all its glory. The fucking pinnacle of entertainment software. The second level of this hub is basically the same. You don't think it's going to be a sewer level when you see this big open area and a building, but then you're back underground dealing with sewage. Oh, holy shit, look at this. There's lighting effects. Lighting effects. They did it. I spent 5 minutes trying to find the red keycard in this level to no avail, so I went on to the next level, and I found out that you can find it there, making the previous level completely pointless. And then I found out that you can also get the blue keycard here, making the first sewer level completely pointless. That's, If you hold the jump key, you can climb ladders really, really slowly. And if you also hold the run key while holding the jump key, you can climb ladders really slowly.
The aspirations to climb, to reach higher than yourself. Man and this human being, Kirk, representing all of man, climbing higher than himself.
Technically, this isn't a sewer level, it's just brown, ugly, and has hallways and ambient water noises and shit, but it's not a sewer, so I wander around for half an hour and finally find the place where the blue key goes.
You may have gotten Sonny off the streets, but did you have to take half of L.A. with him?
Really? Half of L.A.? Was half of L.A. hiding in the sewers?
Far be it from me to judge my fellow man, but the last time I checked, killing was a bad thing. This may be war, but the ends still don't justify the means. I don't like having to wash the blood of innocents off my hands.
I don't have a lot to say about Mission 6. It's just the same thing, thankfully sewer-free, but can I just talk about how goddamn sinfully ugly this game is? I wouldn't be so harsh, honestly, if this wasn't so fucking egregious. Mission 7 is the same shit all over again, this time in warehouses. I guess this level is a little more interesting. It has a possessed forklift. I go for this guy, Janus. He's in his office.
With Janus out of the picture, I can justify my decision to keep you thawed out. And as icing on the cake, nobody was hurt. But don't plan on any vacations yet. We still haven't solved this case.
Okay, so see now we're almost done, right? I gotta put these 7 symbols in the matrix, and then we win, right? Right? In the times of great suffering that lay ahead of me in my life, when all hope has left me, when my body, my mind, and my senses fail, I will, as an old, desiccated wretch, knowing only pain I once thought unknowable, will look back upon my pitiful existence and say, at least I'm not playing the Matrix level from fucking Tekwar! This is it. This is bottom. This is below the bottom. This is the awful Shyamalan twist I've been keeping from you this whole episode. Inside of Tekwar, an awful, awful game, is an even worse game. How bad is it? Well, I have to put up a photosensitivity warning. I'm not saying that the game is going to give you a seizure. I'm just not comfortable in a legal sense in saying that it won't. You start off in a room with a collection of teleporters. Oh yeah, also you can fly now. It's not so much flying, it's more like the swimming is in Duke Nukem 3D, which makes me wonder why they couldn't do the whole swimming thing. You know, in water? Anyway, you can move up and down really slowly, and remember how there weren't many lighting effects in the rest of Tekwar? Well, they sure make up for it here, because half the goddamn rooms have lights that flash from 0 to full brightness at all times. You're supposed to go into these teleporters, but the first time you go in, you're not going to know which teleporter takes you to the place you need to go, or if they do that at all, because they teleport you into like 8 different places that all have their own soul-crushing, retina-violating form of awfulness. And you know what you have to do in the Matrix? It's fun. You have to find about 1 million switches that open areas marked with access required, which are, of course, sometimes hidden away, but you have a map that marks those doors, but not the locations of the switches you need to use, which will eventually lead into opening the room where you place the sigil in each area. But all the switches look exactly the same, and most of them don't clearly indicate what they do. And so you're teleporting to one area, getting nowhere, and then going back to the teleporter at the end of that area, which in a game that wasn't designed by Capstone, would take you back into the hub area, so you can access the other teleporters to go to those areas. But no, the teleporters at the end of each of these sections take you to the next section, and you run through every single section before getting to a teleporter that takes you back to the hub area. You know, unless you take the wrong one, and guess where that takes you? Come on, guess. It takes you back to the first section, and you won't find the switches the first way through, and you will die. You'd think that all these teleporters in the hub room were locked off, right? Well, no, you can go through those bars exactly half of the time. You can enter them at the teleporter, but at the other side, they're just there and you can't go backwards through them. They block you now. You get one weapon, the glove, insert your own power glove joke here, and it moves around the screen with you and shoots red balls, but not at first. You start off with no ammo and have to collect it. And what do you shoot? Orbs, balls, spheroids. They all go down in one hit, I think. But now that your targets can actually move around, up and down, it makes the already awful keyboard aiming absolutely necessary to your survival. There's viruses in infected areas, and you'll know the areas are infected because the computer will not shut the fuck up about it. You can shoot roaming viruses, but if you step into an infected area, your health drains really quickly. And that's fun because you have to go through a whole area of this shit with crushing walls, and it's just the worst. The other kind of enemy is whatever this is. I would show you a picture, but guess what, kids? I am! It's invisible! And when you get into areas like this one where it's a really tall room, but you go up and down at the same speed as on a ladder, and wait a minute, was I swimming up ladders before? Is that what I was doing to get up those ladders? Oh my god! So you're doing this, but there are silver balls everywhere, and you're trying to shoot them, but there's also invisible ones, and you're trying to find the one hallway you can go through that's either up or down a few hundred feet, and the door over here isn't opened, and I don't even know which switch opens it. So I go all the way back up to this thing on the map where I almost don't see it, because all this solid blackness everywhere, and they know you can't see shit in their level, and they use it against you. And there's a bunch of random stuff that looks important but isn't. The health pickups are these glowy orb things, but not these glowy orb things. And the colorful room has all these floating peanuts. I don't know what the floating peanuts are. I don't understand the cyberpunk aesthetic of floating peanuts. There's all these non-force fields that don't do anything. They're just there. And the red rooms. Everything's flashing, and there are these traps that you can sometimes just run by, but others kill you. The blue cube maze. Fuck the blue cube maze. I know, if you die after placing a sigil, it stays there, and you can go back to the hub room that doesn't help me with any of the goddamn switches. And you know where you have to go. You can see it on the map. But where the fuck is that one switch I missed in all of this shit? And they make a bunch of places that you just slowly fly up or slowly fly down to get somewhere, and it's just a waste of time. Boy, these spikes look deadly. I'll bet there's a way to turn these off, because every video game I've ever played has made spikes instant fucking death. Not these. You have to fly and jump and crouch and get over and under them, but it's fine. There's a bunch of switches in the last section where you're bombarded by flying drones in the fucking dark, where you walk into the room and the lights turn off, and you can't see the switches, so you need to turn them back on, while all these things are shooting you. And then finally, once you've figured out all of this shit, once you've gotten every hidden switch and had this game induce a migraine that would kill a lesser man, this video game physically hurt me. But I did it. And when you're done, there's still one more mission. And I'll tell you what, kids, being intimately familiar with the particular shittiness of a Capstone game, I was able to end it pretty quickly. You could blast through the whole level looking for the final boss, but I just looked at the map and said, hey, where does it look like there's a shitty office? Right here, not far away from the start of the level, right into this hole. You're almost there. You shoot the final boss one time, he's down, and it's over.
I knew you were right for the job. We've made a pretty good team.
Fuck you, you didn't do shit.
Putting the Tech Matrix broadcast node out of action before it came online saved this city from the greatest organized threat since that nuclear bomb scare by the anti-technology terrorists back in the 90s.
Anti-technology terrorists using a nuclear bomb. Are you high?
I've convinced the parole officials to let you stay out of the freezer,
Oh, that's good.
as long as you continue to work for me.
Now I'll take the freezer. Put me back in the freezer. Here's how the last cutscene played. It wasn't working, so I pressed the button and it kicked me right back into DOS. Capstone had ambition. That much is clear. They wanted to make an open-world cyberpunk FPS game. Look at this, a big-name star, a fancy new engine. They were gonna soar. They were gonna touch the sun.